guys, welcome to Run Reviews. Today's episode is Jurassic World Dominion. So this is Jurassic World 3. I'm probably just going to refer to it as Jurassic World 3 from now on. So I'm going to keep this spoiler free so that you obviously can go see the movie when it all comes out. So I was lucky to be able to see it early. And here we are, 4 years later after the events of Jurassic World. And we're into mixing the old dinosaur race with the human population. So obviously this is not going to go well for humans because obviously we're going to be hunted by some dinosaurs. So this is like dinosaur galore. So there's dinosaurs coming everywhere. Like they're coming quick and fast, and like the dinosaurs are putting our trusted, obviously, main protagonists into peril. So throughout the film, you're going to see the dinosaurs obviously trying to hunt the humans. But as we come along, without going into the story, there is sort of a way that humans are going to be able to sort of solve their problem that they're having with the dinosaurs, which is the main driver for the plot. And then what I was worried about was them actually throwing all the nostalgia back in. So like lots of the movies want to throw the nostalgia, especially one that's so well established, where obviously we've got Sam Neill coming back, we've got Jeff Goldblum coming back, and it's so good to see him. We got Laura coming back as well, so the main trio have come back, which is great to see. Like I thought, oh no, here we go, they're going to be, a bit of fan service, give them a cameo here, and they're not really going to drive anything, but they were actually one of the main drivers for the plot. So they actually were used really well, and we've actually got some really good one-liners and sort of comic stuff that are coming in. So Sam and Jeff are doing really well for that. Like they've actually got some really funny moments which will break up the high octane action that's coming in. So this movie actually has more of an action-paced sort of scene. So it is really fast-paced. But my sort of downfall with it is, like, I did enjoy it overall. Like I like all the Jurassic sort of films and I like all the action. But it felt like our main cast were superheroes, which I wanted to see them be a little bit more vulnerable to the dinosaurs, but it really felt like they were the superheroes and the humans were kind of bigger, stronger, and more equipped than the dinosaurs, but the dinosaurs are obviously more primal and more physically capable than our human sort of protagonists that are trying to, save the world. So Chris Pratt is obviously back again, where he reminds me in this film as like the dinosaur Caesar Milan. So he can tame like pretty much any dinosaur. We've seen that in the other two films, and I like that they've kind of gone with that still. He still does the trying to tame the raptors and stuff. So he does all that. There is one scene, like it's in the trailer, so I'm not spoiling anything, but he's riding a horse and he's got a lasso, and they're like, I guess, cowboying the dinosaurs. So he's got the lasso and he's like lassoing dinosaurs, and there's all sorts of parts in it which are kind of outlandish but also kind of work into trying to incorporate dinosaurs into the whole, in terms of what kind of world it would be if the dinosaurs all came back and integrated into our current society. So I mean, it worked. It was ambitious, which was nice to see, rather than just the one-off like Dinosaur Park where they have to, say one breaks out and they have to try and get back into captivity. A cool progression for the story. I did like it. It just, unfortunately, they were a little bit. It didn't really feel like they were in peril as much as they probably should be. Where one of the characters, like Kayla, I know she was meant to be the badass in the film, but they went over the top with her. So my downfall was she went way over the top. She felt like pretty much Terminator in this film, where she could do anything she wanted. So she pretty much walked around as the Terminator, like nothing really fazed her. Where I wanted to see a little bit more of that, the peril. I know I've said that before, but I do want to see, like, if a dinosaur was coming at you, you would be quite concerned that obviously there's a dinosaur and like you are no match physically or anything for a dinosaur. Like I guess if you had the technology, we had to outsmart it, but there's a lot of the times where they don't have that technology with them and they're able to, escape from the dinosaurs. But in terms of the visual effects, they're incredible. So like they didn't really spare the budget for the visual effects, and there's so many different types of dinosaurs. It's really cool to see like all the different variables for it. And as they're coming on, there is a couple of cheesy moments where Chris Pratt's trying to tame some, dinosaurs with his Caesar Milan, like mind tricks and stuff, like who's dominant, the old "I'm watching you" kind of, that sort of break eye contact first, have that dominance. I know they've built that up for the character, but there were moments where it was really cheesy and he's running around with a knife majority of the time. So yeah, overall, it's a nice way to wrap up the franchise. It wasn't as good as I thought it was going to be in terms of I really wanted them to wrap that all up really nicely. Where it was a little bit janky here and there, and the pacing was so quick that it just needed to relax a little bit, and it just needed to focus on a nice flow rather than throwing 900 things all happening at the one time. But when the cast all come together, that's where I felt like the biggest downfall came, where it was just too much to focus on, kind of like in the Avengers where there's too many people to focus on. I really wanted it to be a little bit smaller so that I could really delve into those characters. It's got a reasonable runtime, this film, so it goes for about 2 hours, 2 hours and 15 minutes, 2 hours and 17 minutes roughly. But obviously the high octane action is going to keep you engaged in it. Like there's a few jump scares, it got me a few times. Dinosaurs are popping up everywhere. Besides the cheesy moments, which you can kind of look past because it is what it is. We're just trying to be ambitious and go into that next level for the Jurassic World. I know it's going to wrap up the trilogy for this part, but if you can ignore some cheesiness and some really poor dialogue at the start, it does sort of find its feet later on. But it could have been done better if they took their time in the early part and sort of just narrowed the cast down and allowed them to sort of flow and mesh a little bit better. But other than that, I really liked it, and obviously it comes out next week, and yeah, let me know what you think or what you're looking forward to, and you know what to do. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe, and tell your friends.